All right, hello. Let me just set my things up. All right, how is everyone doing? Hope everyone is well. Second live stream. I feel like I'm slowly gonna get better at doing these things. Now at least I have the setup, the software, everything's good to go. Last time was kind of a shit show, but we're gonna get the hang of it. Yeah, boys. This is just gonna be like a live Q&A. So any questions, anything you want to go and share with the group, with me, whether it be about the business, like technical stuff, or you just sort of wanting to know what it's like to run a business, a company, like general questions. I'm open to everything. Sup, Alexei? Sup, Will? Nice to see you, boys. I will also like to. I'll do this maybe like halfway through the stream. Start inviting some members on board. We did this last time, and I know many of you like messaged me saying like it was a good idea. So just inviting one person at a time, answering their questions, having like a one-on-one conversation on what it's like to run a company, whether you already have a company or you're just starting out and you don't have a business, you have no idea what you're doing, and you just want to sort of share your ideas with me and sort of just see what would be the next steps for you. If you are just starting out, that's also okay. Don't be scared. That is sort of who I work with the most. So people who are just starting out, they've never made their first dollar online. They're not too sure what to do. They've heard about SMMA. They've heard about drop shipping, trading, all of these things. And they're kind of confused, like what should be my business model? Like how should I make my first dollar? And I will basically point them in the right direction and share them what I did when I started out. Hey, Nicholas. Hey, Sarush. But yeah, any questions? Anything you guys want to sort of go over? Share with me. Otherwise, I can already start inviting people. I'm just going to put the link and I'll just leave it there and just see what happens. Again, I am still new to this. I have no idea what I'm doing. So I'll put the link in chat. And I do believe there's a way I can pin it. And I will figure out how to do this right here. There you go. Look at how good I am, huh? Look at this pin. This pinning action happening right here. I'm very proud of myself. I am like not like, I know I run an online business and everything, but I am like the least tech friendly person. Like I have no idea how to do things. To set up this mic, it took me like a whole week. Like I bought it and I had no idea how to install it, and I didn't realize that I needed this little piece right here that I bought to actually have like a functioning mic. I never used Discord when I started my business. I heard about it. I never used it, didn't have an account. I had to pay a guy $50 to create a school community, not a school, a Discord community for me when I started. So that was pretty funny. But yeah, when I started, I was like really not tech savvy. Like I had no idea. So for me to do live streams now is pretty crazy. I'm pretty happy about it, but yeah, cool. So first question by Alexei. How did it feel to hit 10K? It was pretty cool. I think since day one, I always set my goals, my aspirations to be like extremely high. So whatever goal everyone had, I always said to myself, I'm going to 5x it or 10x it. Because at least for me, when I have like an ultimate goal, once I hit it, I have a tendency to just stop and be content, be happy with my objective. And for me, ultimately, I don't want to stop at 10K. I want to have a pretty big company. And for me, big is like 6 figures monthly. I'm not looking to build a $1 billion company or 10, 20, 30 million. 100K per month, 200K per month, 300K per month. I am super happy with that. So since day one, I always said to myself, the goal is 100K per month. So once I hit 10K, I was happy, but job not done. Like I gotta keep going, keep pushing and everything. So, but no, I was very happy. I think the moment I was the most proud of myself is when I made the first dollar online. When I signed my first client and I saw that first Stripe notification. And for everyone here who has, has a business, who is making money online, I think everyone can agree here that like making that first dollar online, like nothing will beat that. And at least for me, like that has been the most sort of impactful moment in my life. Not hitting 10K, but yeah, I'm definitely happy at 10K. But it was just like a sign that I'm like, okay, I'm on the right path. Let's just do more of what's working. Sup, Sarush, how's it going? Day was good. Worked. Had few sales, not a sales call, sales meetings with the closers. I spoke with my head of sales. We hired a new closer recently, so he's in training and everything, so that should be good. But yeah, today was nothing too crazy. Just took it easy, worked on some content and stuff like that. So Benjamin. So Benjamin has a good question. Already joined your Skool community. Happy to have you. Happy to have you with us, bro. And still studying. What is the best niche? So there is not a best niche. Okay, like you can make money in every single market out there. Okay, so ultimately, when you look at SMMA and marketing agency and helping businesses make more money, like I said, you are helping businesses make more money. Okay, so name me a time or an industry that does not want to make more money. Okay, it makes like everyone wants to make money. So there's not a best niche. All niches can work. Now there are some markets where we see the demand's a lot higher. So that is a good sort of direction to go into. So which markets have the most demand? From experience, from working with our clients, and now we've worked with 500, 600 people, people who are just starting out, anything that's blue collar, we've seen lots of success in. So painting, roofing, fencing, landscaping, those types of markets, huge demand for Facebook ads, Google ads, and all those things. That's what I started. I started in plumbing, so that's also a blue collar niche. So anything in that market, I think you're going to set yourself to be like heading in the right direction, Benjamin. Otherwise, like if you have experience working, like some people come to me, they're like, I work as a landscaper. So I'm like, okay, go with landscapers. Like you understand the market, you understand the niche. That's what I did. Okay, there's a reason why I transitioned from plumbers to now agency owners and online business owners. I'm in the industry. I know pretty much everything about it. So it's a lot easier for me to scale a marketing agency than it is a plumbing business just because of my experience. And when I started, I had no experience. I just went with something and went all in it. Cool. Sup, Charlie? How's it going? Real estate can be good. Real estate is a bit hard, to be honest. There's lots of competition, lots of people doing it. So you can definitely, again, make money in every single market. It's just the way I view it is, imagine you're playing a video game. There's easy, normal, hard. If you go in a real estate, lawyers, chiropractor, something like that, you're playing the game on the hard mode. Okay, you can definitely still make money, still make it happen. You're just picking a harder game. And for me, I'd rather just start easy and then slowly work my way up. Okay, so Mario has a question. I'm selling a SaaS service and have about 30 customers. That's super cool. But having an issue charging more than $100 a month. I try showing value. How can I charge more? So it really depends of what's the SaaS. Like, what are you providing? How the easiest thing to do is you have to tie your product, your service, to how much money you're making. So when we charge for marketing services, I don't charge the same price for everyone. Okay, that wouldn't make any sense, because if for one customer I'm able to get them to 30K a month, but the other one is at 5K a month, the amount of value that I provided for both of these people, these customers, is very different. Okay, so that's how I charge my services. So for you, since you're selling a SaaS, you have to find a way to have maybe tiered services. So depending on how much money they're making, maybe they get more service, less service. Or if you just have issues like justifying the price, like the $100 point, and you want to increase it, what I would do is have like a good amount of customer base at $100, and then your next batch of people up it to like 200, and just see what happens. Okay, and you would be surprised by, like, it's normal to hear more no's because you're charging more money, but just because you're hearing more no's does not mean you're necessarily going to make less money. Okay, I don't know if that makes sense, Mario, but The best way is just slowly up the value, so help people make more money. And of course, the more money you help someone make, the more you can justify. And then from there, just slowly start testing price. Sell a batch of people 100. Your next batch of people try 200 and see what happens. And if you see people are signing at 200, go see everyone who's paying 100 and tell them like, look, I'm now working with all these people who are now paying me $200. In order to stay on the SaaS, you're gonna have to start paying $200 next month. Do you want to, yes or no? Some people will say no, some people will say yes. You slowly up their price and you just keep doing that. But again, bro, it really depends on what you're selling. Will has a great question. After you're making your first dollar online, what's the most difficult stage to get through? $1 to 10K, 10 to 30, something else. Definitely your first 10K. That is going to be by far the hardest period. Okay, just because when you're scaling like past 10K, all you need to learn is building teams, management, and typically you just do more of what's working. So if I got to 10K, how did I get to 10K? I will do the same thing, just times 2 to get to 20K, and then same thing to get to 30K. So you do more of what's working. But when you're getting to 1 to 10K, you typically have no idea what you're doing. And you have to learn everything. You have to learn how to set appointments, how to close deals, how to fulfill, how to work with clients, how to deal with hires, all of these things. So you're learning so many things. And the worst part, you're not making money. So you spend all of this time like learning and doing a bunch of stuff, but you end up, still not making money and all these things. And it's just part of the journey. So 100%. Most difficult, at least for me, was the first 10K. Once I hit 10K, I was like, okay, I know how to make 10K. I just do the same thing over and over until I hit 100K, 200K, 300K. Football, bro. I like this. Lots of questions and good questions too. Football asks, very nice name. I made 30 calls today to sell my service, but no luck. How do you deal with the mindset when you want to give up? So first of all, bro, like very good that you're making 30 calls. Like that's how it starts. But 30 is nothing. Okay. Like it's normal. Like you are not going to get a bunch of sales. You are not going to get a bunch of appointments with just 30 calls. Okay. It does not make any sense. I made a video about this, but I started as a door knocker. Okay. And we would knock 100 doors every single day for the whole summer. And at the end of the summer, you can count, how many, it's about 10,000 doors. I ended the summer with 150 sales, 152 to be exact. So you calculate the ratio, the percentage of my conversion rate of how many people I closed. So don't view, like, you cannot have the mindset that I'm going to give up. Like for me, like giving up has never been an option. There's no plan B. Like this is it. Like I dropped out of high school, university. I didn't drop out of high school. I dropped out of university to do this full time. So for me, I had no plan B. I was like, I need to make this work. Otherwise, what's my life going to be like? And even when I was in university, I was studying engineering. I was like, okay, so I'm going to graduate. I'll make pretty good money as an engineer, but I'll never make Lambo money. I'll never make crazy mansion money. So I'm like, this is it. Like I have to make this work. Otherwise, like I will be stuck forever in this normal rat race, this normal life. And at least for me, this is something that I could not possibly have in my life. Like I cannot do it. So for me, giving up has never been an option. Okay. So surround yourself by good people who are doing what you want to do. And just look at them. And if they can make money, you can also make money. Okay. No one is special. I'm not special. The richest person in the world is not special. Okay. We just stuck with what work every day and just never give up. Mario, upgrade my SaaS customers to SMMA. You can upsell them, downsell. That can be a good thing. We have a few people doing that. Clients that I'm working with, they have a SaaS, so they're like focus on getting SaaS customers and then upsell them to SMMA, or the opposite. I prefer the opposite because typically SMMA you can charge more. Lauren, I'm starting out in SMMA. Trying to find a media buyer. How do I know if they are good media buyers? So you always there are good media buyers out there. Okay, it's just a question you have to ask yourself. Someone who has 10 years of experience, has made a bunch of money for their customers, has case studies, has all of these things. Would they want to work with someone who's just starting out, who doesn't have a single case study for their agency and has never signed a single client? Okay, that's the trickiest part. Okay, so the good media buyers are out there. It's just they're working with the top companies. Okay. So what I recommend is first try to get a client. Okay, get a client, and then from there, once you get a client, it's gonna be a lot easier to convince a media buyer to want to work with you, because now it's like, okay, this person is actually like, they have a client, and like, I can actually work with them. Okay, I when I started out, the first thing I did, which is stupid, I did like 15 or 20 interviews with media buyers. I had never done a single cold call. I had no website. I had nothing. Like, I built nothing, and I was interviewing potential people to work with me when I didn't even take the first step into trying to like get my first client. Okay, so I don't know what stage you're at with your business, but just for now, focus on trying to get that first client. Once you do, trust yourself, you will be able to find a media buyer relatively quickly. Okay, if you make a post in a Facebook group, I have one client in this niche, he is ready to start running his ads today, who wants to work with me? Trust me, you will get a good amount of applicants. From there, like, actually knowing who's good and who's not good, try to learn the basics of ads so you can understand like what type of like the metrics, the cost per lead, all these things are supposed to be. Ideally, you work with someone who has an agency, or at least be part of a community of agency owners, so that we can just refer you to media buyers. That's what I do. So everyone in my community, we have like a pool of talented media buyers. So as soon as someone signs their first client, I pair them together. They know they're good, and they start off on a good note. Cool. There is 3 people in the waiting room, okay, to do a one-on-one. So I'm just gonna go through these questions, and then afterwards I'll invite a person. So Benjamin asked, have you been able to watch Iman's new video? I haven't. It seems like doing the personal brand with agency will go along. 100%. I haven't watched this video, but I always tell the people I work with that having a personal brand is a cheat code. Like, it's not a must-have depending on your niche and like the type of service, the type of people you work with. Me as a coach, if I didn't have YouTube, if I didn't have my personal brand, it would be extremely hard to make money. So hard. But if I'm working with a plumber, because I have been that person working with plumbers that had no personal brand, you can still close clients without a personal brand. Now, if you take 2 agencies or 2 people, one has no personal brand, and he reaches out to a plumber, tries to sell him, and then next to him there's another guy who's also running an agency for plumbers, and he has a YouTube with 10,000 subscribers with hundreds of videos on how to scale a plumbing business using Facebook ads, Google ads. Who do you think is more likely to get that client? Okay, probably the guy with the personal brand. Okay, so you just have an advantage over everyone else. So 100%, like, put yourself out there. Building a personal brand is super important. Don't overthink it. Like, even me doing these live streams, like, I'm nervous doing these. Like, to be honest with you guys, I've been doing YouTube for 2 years, but like a live stream, I've never done it before. So even before me hopping on this, I still am nervous about doing these things. But I know long term, like, building a personal brand is worth it, and eventually you get over with. You know, it's the more reps you do, the better you get at it. But yeah, to answer your question, it's not a must-have, but highly recommend it. Cool. Lauren, I'm in the gym industry. Is that hard mode according to your game analogy? Like medium hard. Yeah, there's lots of people going with gyms. Again, anything blue collar is my preferred market. If I'm into fitness, so I kind of like that industry. So if I were to run an agency in the fitness industry, I'd work with personal trainers, specifically like online personal trainers, and helping them build their personal brands to get organic leads, and also helping them with their cold traffic, the paid traffic acquisition method. So that's a business idea for you. I've done that with someone in my program, and it is going pretty well. So you work with online fitness trainers, you help them with their TikTok, their IG, their YouTube, all of these things. You help them get inbound leads. So how do I convert my audience, my viewers, into paid customers? Build out the whole funnel for them, and that can be your business model. That's a very good idea. Hey Zay, how's it going? How do you think I should practice my selling skills? Repetition. Nothing will beat that. You can read books, you can do a bunch of stuff, but until you actually put yourself out there and start closing people, you're not going to learn. You can learn the basics online. So watch a few videos, role playing people and stuff like that. One thing that I've used to listen to, it's an audiobook. It's very old. It doesn't look very good, but trust me, it's good. It's called Sales Superstar. Okay, so if you look that up online on Google, Sales Superstar, just save that link, and then later you can listen to that. There's a few like disc and audiobooks. It's an old, it's like old trainings, but it was very valuable to me when I was doing okay. What's the best way to sell people to work with you? Sell them stuff that they want, that they absolutely need, and if they don't have, everything goes to shit with their business. Sup, Olaf? How's it going? Nice to see you. Tips on hiring top closers and where to find them. So I'm currently in the process of hiring a bunch of closers. I made a YouTube video about this, but I'm currently building like a pretty big sales team. We're currently at 5 closers, and I need 1 more, and then I'm going to stop. I'll take a break. I have found my best closers to be either clients of mine, so people that have purchased something from me because one, they believe in my product, they went through the transformation, and they know me, they know the team and everything. So it's very easy for them to be integrated with me. And also through my personal brand, YouTube, my email list, my Instagram. I've gotten so many applicants from those things that I've never had to really reach out to cold audiences for hiring, whether it be closers or anything else. I've always just used my personal brand to get people on my team. One thing that we're currently testing is we're running paid ads to hire closers. So it's still relatively new, so I cannot really tell you how that's going. So far, it's okay. It's going well. We're still in the process of optimizing everything. But that is something that I've heard from friends in the industry that are doing that apparently works pretty well. You do get a bunch of applicants. Most of them are bums, respectfully. But you will find, these little people here and there if you have a good like filtering process. Lauren, how would I convince these gyms to work with me without case studies, media buyers case study, if I don't? So ideally, like if you don't, like in a perfect world, Lauren, what you would do is you would have a media buyer, because it's hard for me to answer this because everyone I work with who's a beginner, they have access to my case studies, my team's case studies, the media buyers that they're going to be working with. So I don't really have this issue because they have media buyers since day one. It's just if you're doing this solo and you're trying to find a good media from day one, it can be hard to find good ones. Okay, so even if you do have their case studies, how do you know they're going to be good case studies? So what I would recommend is working for like a free trial for your first client. Okay, I don't see anything wrong with free trials. I think many people shit on them and they're like, no, start charging money, like time is money, all these things. I think if you're just starting out and you don't have that much experience, you don't deserve to get paid, just because how do you know you can deliver them results? Okay, why would you take someone's money and not know you can deliver them value in return? So how would I convince them? I would work on the free trial. Okay, and you can, like, when I say like don't find a media buyer, like still make some posts, still try to get a media buyer in the meantime. Just don't make it your number one focus. Don't make it so that because I don't have a media buyer, I cannot start outreaching, I cannot start cold calling, I cannot start cold DMing and all these things. Okay, that's sort of what I meant by my previous answer. Still make a few posts, still hire, still try to find that person. Who knows, maybe you'll be lucky, you'll find someone good. But just don't let that hold you back. Okay, and as mentioned too in one of the previous questions, your first client is going to be the hardest. Okay, because like you mentioned, you don't have experience, you don't have case studies, you don't have a team. So it is supposed to be very hard to get your first client. That's why I would work on a free trial. Cool. So Mario, how do you feel about lead or sales percentage pay? And they pay ads for the few customers. Case studies, I have 3. So you're talking about the performance pay. They pay ad spend, which is okay. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. It's really what I just answered to Lauren. So you can do a free trial for a month or 2. Once you get them results, then you tell them like, hey, like we started working with new companies. Now the new price is 1K per month. As you can see, we've brought you over 10,000 last month. So now we're going to start charging 1K. are you okay with this, or would you want to part ways? So that's how I would introduce like the transition to paid. But starting on a percentage basis, that's perfectly okay. I think that's a good idea. Like either a fixed dollar account amount, per closed deal, or per appointment, or per lead. Okay, depending on the industry that you're working in. Cool. Very good questions. So I have a few people in the waiting room. So I'm gonna invite one person. This is a person inside of our community. His name is Sarush. Super dialed in kid. He's very smart. He's a very hardworking kid. So I love to have him on board and just for him to introduce himself. Maybe just share like your story, your background. How did you get started in this space? And sort of how did you get your first client? I think we've gotten lots of questions about that today. So I think that would be a good thing to go over today.
Yes, sir, bro. Thank you very much for having me. Yeah, it's quite.
We don't hear you too much. Like your audio is a bit. It's not very loud. No, I don't hear you. Is it just me, or?
How about now? Is this better?
Yeah, it's slightly better. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, cool. Yes, sir, bro. First of all, thank you very much for having me. It's very cool to be here.
We don't hear you, bro. We don't hear you, bro.
Dude. There we go. Put this.
Yeah, you gotta talk in the mic, bro.
Big mic, yes, sir. Hello, can you hear me?
No, now your audio it's cooked, bro. It's cooked.
Why, I wonder, bro? I have so many mics.
How about now? Still cooked?
Yeah, it's not loud, bro. Do you want me to? I'll invite someone else on the call, and then I'll let you fix that, and then afterwards we'll have the combo. Okay.
Let's do it.
Nicholas, are you there? Yes, sir. Nicholas too is one of my students. I'll let him introduce himself, so like where he's at with his agency and everything. But he's very successful digital nomad. Traveling the world left and right, closing deals, making money. What's up, bro?
How's it going, Oliver? Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, bro. Thank you for joining. Do you want to maybe give people like a quick backstory on like where you're at with your agency? What do you do? Maybe talk about your traveling and everything.
Yeah, man. So when it comes to my agency, I'm currently, well, it's a bit back and forth, but currently around like 15K a month, 10, 15, 20K a month.
Nice.
Currently traveling the world, so I'm spending all the money on just planes and traveling around the world and just things I shouldn't really be spending money on, but I mean, I love it. So that's what I'm currently doing. Soon going to Colombia, and for this year, looking to scale my agency to, let's say 50, 60K a month. That would be great. Nice. And yeah, really just dialing things in right now. Yeah.
Very good, bro. Very good, bro. I think you're like a picture perfect like type of person that most people will talk about on YouTube, like starting an online business, then want to make money, start traveling the world, close deals, laptop lifestyle and everything. So it's fun to see someone really embrace that side of like entrepreneurship. So that's really cool. Do you want to maybe share how you were able to sign your first client? Like how was that journey for you?
My first client, so that was actually, I started SMMA around 1 year ago, and my first client came after 2.5, 3 months. So for the first 2 months, I literally did outreach every single day, like 200 DMs, emails, cold calls. I had no success. My English was even worse than now. Like my English was really bad. And I just didn't get anywhere. I was like, damn, nothing is working. This is all scam. This doesn't work. And then I just put it in numbers, and eventually someone reached back out. It was an e-commerce store, which I'm still working with today after 10, 11 months.
Nice.
And then, we started working. The results were not that good, but they were also kind of in the starting phase. But yeah, they were doing around like 10, 15K a month with their e-commerce store at that time. Now they're doing upwards of 200, 300K a month. And my agency kind of has scaled them up in e-commerce, but that is my only e-commerce client. Apart from that, it's only roofing.
Mhm.
And I would highly recommend everyone just going into lead gen, as you were saying, not any e-commerce stores, but I didn't know any better. But that was my first client, and that client has been with me since then, and has kind of been my motivation since day one. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy. That's good. Yeah, ecom is like the hard mode. I don't know if you were here since I started the stream, but I kind of explained to them different tiers, and ecom is definitely a tricky one.
Yeah,
Um,
for sure.
and yeah, I think the most important thing that you said is putting in the reps and the volume, and just outreaching until someone says yes. Okay, Lauren, someone else earlier spoke about making 30 cold calls and not getting any results. It's not supposed to be easy. Okay, it literally just don't give yourself an excuse to stop. You just keep doing it, and eventually someone will say yes to you. Okay, like if you reach out to 100 business owners every single day for a month, that's 3,000 people that you're speaking with. Like, do you honestly believe out of 3,000 people, not one is going to say yes to a performance base or a free trial? Okay, so I think it's very important not to give up and just don't have that as an option when you start out. But yeah, very impressive, bro. And because I noticed with you, your growth has been relatively quick. Like you went from struggling, not being able to sign clients, and then from there, just overnight, like I've seen your post on Skull and everything, and you went from 0 to now signing like 5K deals and everything. So what do you think sort of helped you make that very quick growth with your business?
So there's multiple things. I mean, but the main thing I would say is just not focusing on the things that don't get you anywhere. I mean, most people I see, I also help some people kind of get going with agencies and everything. And most people, when they start out, they just focus on creating a really good logo and the website, and like spending 2 weeks on just getting their domain up, all these things, which don't really matter. What matters is just becoming good at sales and selling a working product. So as long as you know, like, you will get them some results, like,
Mm-hmm.
or maybe you don't even know, but if you can sell them and get the money, then you can worry about actually delivering the results after you get the money.
Yeah.
So what I changed is that I really focus on just having a pretty website, pretty logos, pretty everything, to just dialing in on sales. I watched every sales video on YouTube, I think, just trying to get as good as possible. And that is really where things change, since it's not about having just a really good Google Slides presentation. It's about actually being able to sell that, you know? So
Mm-hmm.
back in the days, I had a really cool presentation, which I still have, I think, somewhere, but I don't use it, since it's better just to have a simple presentation, which is easy to sell. You know what you're selling, simple product, all these things, instead of just people want to know, like, just train the sales. Just don't train,
Yeah.
like, yeah.
100%. Sales is by far the most important thing, and I do think many people will overcomplicate the every single aspect of their business. I have to have the best website, the best logo, the best this, the best that. They end up spending weeks and months on it before even picking up the phone once and doing a few cold calls. If
Yeah.
anything, you do the opposite. First thing you do is you pick up the phone and you just start talking to business owners. There was a question earlier. How do you get better at sales, especially if you don't have any sales calls and stuff like that? Cold calling will get you good at sales. Speaking to 100 business owners per day, like, trust me, if you do that for a week or two, you will start to get the hang of how to close people. Yes, you're not closing deals, but you're closing appointments, which is, still a form of closing. So yeah, very, very good advice, bro. Cool. Thank you very much, bro, for hopping on. I appreciate it. And I know you're a busy man working hard, so I'll let you be. But yeah, I think everyone here appreciates your feedback and having you on this live stream.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, Oliver.
Take care. Yeah, very good. You see, like with him, guys, this is very important. Like he mentioned it, for 2 years he was working on his agency and barely saw any results. He was cold calling, outreaching to a bunch of business owners, signed his first e-com client, which he ended up switching niches, and even for that client at the beginning wasn't getting them good results. It took him 2 years just to figure it out, and then once he did, next thing you know, I look at my Skull notifications and I see his post every day: 5K deal closed, 3K deal, I'm at 15K, I'm at 20K, or I think it was 10K and 15K. But basically shows you that like that first client at 0 to 1K, 0 to 5K will be the hardest. Okay, it's normal. It's not supposed to be easy. But once you figure it out, once you crack it and you become good at sales and you understand the basics, then from there, you like life becomes easy. It's like, okay, I just do more of what has been working for me. I have case studies. I know what I'm doing. I can relate to these business owners because I've worked with a business owner like him previously. So life becomes a lot easier once you get that first client. Cool. So I have a few more questions, and then I'm going to get Sarouche on the call. So I'm currently in Cégep. So you're probably in Quebec too, huh? Headed to uni in engineering. Did you balance business and studies, or did you drop out before then? How was I balancing? Was it hard? So quick backstory: I literally just made a YouTube video about this. So if you want to like watch my second most recent video, I explained everything. But I basically was in college. I've always wanted to start an online business, but I never really took action. I tried trading and all these things, but nothing really worked for me. And then during the summer, I ended up doing a door-to-door knocking internship. So I learned how to sell going door to door. I did it for a whole summer. I did pretty well. From there, I had like a month left. So I started my own window cleaning company. So I did that. So that was like my first business. I was still door knocking, but this time for myself. I hired a few of my friends. We made like 10K in a month, which was pretty cool. And then from there, I started school. While I was at uni, I started the business at the same time, the agency. So whenever I had free time, I would cold call business owners. And because I was pretty good at sales, I quickly booked a few meetings, and then I closed my first client, my second client, and then my third client. And next thing I know, I was making about 10K, 15K a month while being in uni. But the issue was at that level, like managing the clients and just wanting to keep growing the business, I found it difficult to manage both. Like I wasn't able to do it. It was like one had to, either I stop working on the agency and I take it easy and I focus on school, or I go all in on school, or I just go all in on the business. For me, I've always wanted to become an entrepreneur or my own business. So I was like, this is a great opportunity. I know what I'm doing. I love what I'm doing. I hate school. So I went all in on my agency. I dropped out. And I said to myself, like, look, worst case scenario, I'll just go back to school and finish my degree. And I never looked back. That was like 2.5 years ago, 3 years ago. And I don't regret that decision. But yes, I did both. It was hard once you start making money. How many calls do you make a day? As many as you can. The more the better. Ideally in the mornings as well. Like afternoon, it's a bit harder. I used to cold call from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So Praveen, back from a sales call. I hope you close the deal. Otherwise, you can get back to work. What's the average amount of time it typically takes for a new student to make their first sale? It'll vary. I mean, someone who comes to me and has a bunch of sales experience, it will be a lot easier for me to get them their first client, just because I give them the offer that has been proven to work, the guarantee, how to pitch it, and everything else when it comes to running a business. I give them case studies and all these things. So for a person, like if they have experience in sales, they can close their first client within 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Someone who's brand new, has no experience whatsoever in sales and all of these things, it will take a bit more time. I think if you work super hard at it and you cold call and you do have a bunch of free time, that's another big factor too. If you're at school full time, or if you're working a full 9 to 5, it will be harder. It will take more time to get your first client. But someone who spends a few hours per day working on this cold calls every day, I think a month is very realistic to get your first client. It might not be a paying client. It'll probably be like a free trial client, but I think that's a very realistic goal. Cool. Praveen, what percentage would you pay an ISA, a guy that does discoveries? So just to make sure everyone here knows what he's talking about. In sales, eventually you'll be booking so many calls on your calendar that you want to optimize your day. You don't want to be speaking to, let's say, 8 people per day and 7 of them are unqualified. They don't have the budget to run ads, or they're a really small company, or whatever, they're selling like a different product that you don't specialize in. So you'll have like a 2-call system where someone's going to call the lead beforehand. They'll have a conversation before the actual meeting. They'll ask them a few questions, And then if they're a good fit to work with them, so they have the budget, they're willing to do Facebook ads, they want to start right now, then we're going to keep them on a calendar. And if they're not a good fit, then we're just going to remove them. So we open up a slot to have a more qualified lead on the calendar. So how much would you pay that person that would call those leads of the upfront deals you close? Right now, doing 12%. I think 12% is a lot, bro. I think 12% is good for a closer. So someone who's closing the deals, collecting payment on the call, 12% is, like, depending on how you frame you might up the price as well. But 12% is a bit much. I would probably pay them like a fixed amount dollar. When it comes to like knowing how much to pay them exactly, like dollar amount, make sure they get paid like a good wage. Depending on the amount of work and the hours they do, ideally 3, 4, 5K USD per month. So just reverse engineer the numbers. How many calls is he typically taking? How many calls is he setting? How many deals are you closing? I don't know how you have things structured, but just reverse engineer it so that they end up getting paid like a pretty good amount. Because if you're 12%, they end up making like, I don't know, like 8K per month for something that you, okay. If it also depends, where is he located? Because location is another big thing. When you guys hire from the States or Canada, of course, you'll have to pay them a bit more. If you hire overseas, then you can get away with paying a bit less. He's from the USA. So a grown man making 1.5 per month in the States is not sustainable. Okay, that's not like a good wage for them. Okay, so I would review things, maybe hire someone else. If it's something that takes just a few hours per day and it's not like full time, if he's 16, he's at school and everything, then 1.5 is very good. Yeah. But yeah, bro, I would have to look at your numbers, the closing rate, how much money you make and everything to know how much you pay them. But rule of thumb, you want people to be happy. Okay, like they work for your team. I think for me, like someone who's willing to not sacrifice, but like invest their time into like fully invest their time into building my company, my business, my dream. For me, I have so much respect for everyone who works for me that I want to make sure that they get paid a good wage. Okay, so I look at case by case, where are they located, how much money, I speak with them, how much money would you like to make? And I just reverse engineer the numbers. I make sure it makes sense for me, my margins and everything, and I make sure they're happy as well. So as long as he's happy, if he's not complaining about 1.5 and he's happy, keep it at that. Zay says that school, plays basketball. You have to make time for it, bro. Like, I don't know how many hours you work. I don't know what you do for, if you go to school, if you work part-time as well, how many hours you put into basketball. But at a certain point, you got to pick. Like, you cannot do it all. You cannot be a professional NBA player, start a business, go to school full-time, do this, do that. Like, it's you pick one thing, you go all in, and you become the best at it. And that's how I view life. Cool. So I'm going to get Sarush on. Hopefully the experienced business owner can have a functioning mic. I know I'm asking a lot from you. No, it's cooked, bro. Your mic is cooked.
No, bro. Don't do this.
Okay. I think it's not. No, it's good. It's good. I think you just spoke into it a bit loudly.
Okay, perfect. Because there's a thing which is like mic volume. So I put it at 200. Let's see how it is. But yeah, bro. Thank you very much for having me on.
No, thank you for joining.
Of course.
Do you want to maybe give people like a quick background on like how you got started into SMMA, the make money online and all this thing? Because I know you're pretty young too, huh?
For sure, bro. I'm 17.
17, cool. So how did you get started in this?
Okay. So, I mean, the kind of long, short story is one day I was watching a YouTube video and I like just thought like, I'm going to start social media marketing. And it seemed like everything made sense. It was an Iman Gadzhi video. All the details made sense. The service made sense. And I was like, okay, that's it. I got up, got a whiteboard, and just kind of like got to work for 2 days, and then I quit. And then I went into like a cycle of watching YouTube videos, just trying to figure things out for like 2 years, or like a year and a half, maybe 2 years. And then around that time, I kind of came across you, and I got into GS, Growth Solutions, your mentorship program. And then after that, I kind of, bro, to be honest with you, when I came into Growth Solutions, I put myself like in debt, so I had to make a payment for the program. So that was kind of my motivation to get to work. And yeah, bro, I just got to work, did some outreach. To be honest, at that point, it had been 2 years of me watching YouTube videos. You know, I had a really good understanding, I would say, of like the space and how it was, what had to be done. It was more about just doing it.
Yeah.
So then I got in there. I reassured what I knew was correct from YouTube by just going through like the courses, and like within like 2 days, I was reaching out. There's a post I made in your community in like 1 week. I closed like my first 2 clients. It was like crazy, and yeah, bro, it was like insane. Yeah. So
inspiring story, bro. No, it's good. I think you touched on something that many people find themselves to be in the same place, which is like being in the cycle of just constantly learning, watching YouTube videos, watching other people succeed, and you end up just becoming a spectator your whole life. Like, I don't know about you guys, but I want to be in the race. You know, even if I'm not first place, I'd rather be in the race than on the sidelines just cheering people on. Okay, so that's how I always viewed life. And it's not even true. I've never, like, before I used to be like just constantly watching YouTube videos, following these other people, people in Montreal, like where I live, and I'm like, oh my god, look, he's driving the car that I want, he's being successful and all of these things, and I'm just like sitting there not doing anything. And then at a certain point, I kind of clicked. I'm like, okay, I can keep saying to myself that one day I'll become rich and I'll do all these amazing things, but I need to start taking action. Like, something has to change, and I need to.
Something has to be done. Exactly. Yeah.
And I think lots of people find themselves in that situation. They watch countless videos by Iman and all these people, and next thing you know, it's been months and months, and you still haven't picked up the phone and contacted the business. Like,
I think the next. Yeah. I think the next situation that people like find themselves in after that is, or sometimes is, people will, you know, say like, okay, you know what, I'm going to start doing something. They're going to try to be consistent with it, start doing things, but then they're also going to go down the rabbit hole of, unfortunately, there's only some things that make money for you and some things that don't make money for you, but that have to be done in business anyway. So, you know, for example, setting meetings and making a calendar full of sales calls and then getting on there and closing those sales calls, that's what makes the money. But, you know, like kind of when I first started, I was going down, like, I always wanted like a big team and a big company. That was like one of my things. So I was like, yeah, I need to make that. So first, hire this person instantly, like just hiring, like trying to hire out a full team as quick as possible. And I would like just like book calls with my coach and just like to see, like, is it time to hire? But in reality, like, you know when it's time to hire. It's just when it's too much work. So
yeah,
it was not. Yeah. So that is one thing, is just, and that is what keeps you back from not making as much money as you could be, right? Because you know, it's just, you could spend more time instead of that on money making activities, as I like to call it, rather than non-money making activities. But yeah.
No, very true. When you start out, for everyone here, money making activities. If whatever you're doing is not making you money, probably you shouldn't be doing it. Like, spend a day or two at most. Like, I'm giving everyone here permission for 2 days, build the website, do your logo, do all of those stuff. From there, just don't touch it. Or touch it, but like after you've done money making activities. And if you don't have any clients, your money making activity is you pick up your phone and you start just calling a bunch of businesses. Open Google. It's not complicated. You open Google, you search your niche, and you just start calling them one by one. It's not fun. It will suck. Like, it's not supposed to be fun. If it was easy and it was fun and everyone enjoyed doing it, then everyone would have successful agencies and have a bunch of clients. Okay.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be hard, but it's, you know, going through that hardship is what's going to end with you having the skill set to close and having a successful agency.
Definitely.
Cool, bro. Very good. Well, yeah, bro. I don't want to keep you on here too long, but yeah, I think everyone here appreciates you sharing your story. Like for everyone that doesn't know Saroush, he's been like killing it, crushing it, like ever since he joined. Like he mentioned, the first week signed his first client, and for him, what I noticed when I spoke with him in the group calls, is that he immediately took action. Like, he focused on cold calling. He didn't really care about the other stuff. He's just, okay, give me the script, tell me what to do, tell me what to say, who to speak with, and how does it work. And he just put it into action, and he did it, and right away he started seeing results. He didn't put off things. So I think there's lots to learn about people like him. So congratulations, bro, on all of your success.
Definitely, bro. Thank you very much for this. I'll be joining in here next week as well, bro. Let's do this.
Perfect,
I
good.
like-
Hopefully you can fix your mic next week, you know?
yeah, no, next week's gonna be smooth, bro. Trust me.
Perfect. All right, take care, bro.
Peace, boys.
Peace. Cool. So we have a few more questions. Okay, there's someone in the meeting. I don't want to say your name, but it says device not connected. So I don't see your camera or anything. If you don't have a camera or anything, I'm not going to accept you on the live stream. So we have a question. I have a meeting with a dance school. Have I ever worked with? I've never worked with a dance school. You can definitely make the money. I mean, it's a service-based, local-based business, so 100%. You can make the money, but no, I've personally never worked with one. Just the thing with them, I think it's like the amount of new customers they can handle. If I had to make a guess, I have a feeling that for them, they're going to get capped out relatively quickly. So for you to help them make an extra 20, 30 grand per month might not be possible. This is just me speculating. Maybe I'm just saying bullshit, but I have a feeling it'll be harder to just collect bigger retainers from them. So from them, probably 500 per month, 1K, 1.5 at most, if they're really pushing it with ad spend. But yeah, 100%, it can work, bro. Like just take the meeting and whatever happens, happens. Any tips on calling leads for clients struggling to conversation rates for leads generated through Facebook ads? So I'm going to assume it's for your clients. So you're running ads for a local client, and that client is getting leads, and you're in charge of converting those leads into paying clients for them. So from experience, I found that most business owners would rather take care of this themselves. Because depending on your niche, like who you're working with, it might not be possible for you to be the person to like close that deal or the phone or set the appointment. Okay, but otherwise, I know a bunch of people who have like automation set up. Some people have a VA on board. The VA will have a basic script. So again, you have to speak with your client and try to understand what are they looking for from leads. What are the qualifications? So let's say you're working with a kitchen remodeling client, okay, and you're getting them leads. Maybe that person, kitchen remodeler, he only wants to work with like big clients, so people that have a budget, let's say of 10K to renovate their kitchen, or 20K. I don't know what's a big budget for kitchens. So in that case, when you have a conversation with them, you have to make sure that they're qualified and they have the budget for it. So once they fit all the criteria through DMs, then you can convert them. So you can do it through DMs, or you can have someone call the leads and do the exact same process, but just over the phone instead. Okay, so like I don't know what you're struggling with exactly, but the way you convert leads is you qualify them. Once they're a good fit, you book them into an appointment, or you directly sell them, depending on what who you're working with. Yeah, and exactly what Nicholas is saying. Experience of B2 said exactly what I just said. Qualifying the leads, making sure they're a good fit, and then sending them into an appointment. And every niche, every like sales cycle for every market that you work with is very different. Like it's not going to be the same. A kitchen remodeler, it's not going to be the same as someone who cuts grass. So that's why it's very hard. It's just speak with a client, what are they looking for, and get them those types of clients. As simple as that. And if you have no idea what to do and they want you to do it, just ask them. Tell them, like, what have you currently been doing to convert the leads that have been reaching out to you? So when you get a phone call and someone wants to work with you, what are the questions you ask them? How do you qualify them? And they will tell you. And then from there, just use that as a baseline. And then, of course, once you have multiple clients, you'll have like a solid understanding of like what the qualification process is supposed to look like. Yeah. So Mario, any experience with Facebook ads for auto repair body shops? We have a few people in the program who are working. I think even Sarush started in auto detailing. And I have another one of my closers that did car wrapping and I think car detailing as well. It works extremely well. There's a high demand for it. Again, it's one of those niches where you cannot necessarily add an extra 30K, 40K, 50K a month for that business relatively quick. They're typically constrained by people, operations. So there's only so many clients that you can get them, which means so much, like X amount of money that you can make them. And of course, and if I can only make an extra 5K for a person because they have a small team or they're working by themselves, it's going to be harder to justify a higher ticket price. Okay, but yeah, 100%. Like it works extremely well. Like the actual like, conversion with ads for those for that niche works extremely well. Can I give examples of easy, medium, hard niches? So easy would be anything blue collar. So landscaping, tree cutting, painting, plumbing, fencing, like those types of niches. Those are relatively easy. When I say easy, I mean there's a high demand for it. Okay, everything's relatively hard. Like you have to run a business, you have to run ads for them. It's not. I'm not saying it's easy to make money in it. It's just there's a high demand for it, and not too much competition. Hard niches, lawyers, real estate, those classic niches that everyone's talking about on YouTube. Okay, chiropractors is another one. Like ecom, that's another big one as well. So all of like the top niches that you always hear about in SMMA, when you watch a video about like top 5 SMMA niches, I even have a video on that. Like the ones they always mention, those are the hard ones, just because everyone's after them. Like every kid every kid that's 16-year-old that they want to make money online, they'll watch a YouTube video from Iman. Iman says real estate agents. They pick up the phone and they start calling agents. And then after a while, they kind of get like fed up. They're like, okay, what are these kids trying to sell me? Like I'm not going to work with them. So you're just having to work through like a lot more competition. And medium is anything like in between. You know, I think medium, like for me, like one niche, which I feel like not many people talk about, is working with like online creators. I am very bullish. Like I believe that the growth when it comes to like social media and people building personal brands, it's only going to go up from here. So I think helping online creators, especially people not in business niches. Like if you come to me and tell me like, and I get lots of pitches, Oliver, I can get you an extra 10K a month for your business. It's like, I don't care about 10K a month in my business. Like I'm far past that. Like you're not going to help me. Like I know this better than you do. You're cold DMing me. Like I trust me, bro. Like I know this. But working with people who are like in beauty, vlogs, entertainment, like those types of niches that are making content, whether it be Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, and they're just relying on like YouTube AdSense to make money, and they don't have like a real way to convert their viewers into paying customers. Personally, I believe that's going to be like a huge niche. I think there's so much potential for it. There's so many clients. It's fully remote, so you can just reach out to everyone. And like there's so much money to be made. Like you can help someone with a YouTube channel who teaches people how to bake, how to start their own school community, and that community will teach people how to become bakers. And she can sell a course out of that. That course can be 1K or whatever. For 1K, I'll teach you how to bake the best cakes out there. And then you help that person build that marketing funnel, the acquisition system, and how to convert clients. I personally think that's going to be a huge market. I even kind of want into, I want to get into coaching and all this and start selling people in that market. So that's a good niche for everyone here if you haven't established it already. Should I start the AI calling agency? So I do believe AI will be useful. Right now, I don't want to become the AI guy. Like I don't want to start the AI business. But I want to use AI as a tool inside my company to make it grow quicker. Why? Because I'm not fully sold. I am sold on AI, but I'm not sold on what we have right now available to us. Okay, I've tried chatbots in the past for my business, and like all of my leads come through Instagram DMs, all of them. It doesn't work. It doesn't convert. The chatbot does not convert. I've tried so many things. I've worked with so many companies. It does not work. I've always just went back to the basics and used a human, an appointment setter. Now, when it comes to calling, I think that's even harder to nail than DMs. Maybe I'm mistaken. Maybe this is not right. But I've also looked into AI dialers for my clients. Okay, so they can implement it in their agency, even for me, because we get leads, we get phone numbers and stuff. And having an AI would be a lot easier than hiring a human and training them. I've just had the demos. I've looked at everything. Personally, I don't like it. I'm not sold on it. I don't think it's like I don't think it's there yet to be a fully viable business. I think people are making money on the idea of you should sell AI, and that's what they're selling to you. And then if you look at their structure, their DMs, their lead flow, how they convert their leads, I bet you if you click on one of those ads from those people saying like, oh, you should start selling AI, it's the new trend, like everyone's getting onto it, and you click on their ads, I bet you it will not be an AI that contacts you. It will be a real person that calls you. And that for me says a lot. Okay, so I'm like iffy about it. I do think there's a future for it. It's just for me, for right now, I personally would not do it. Nicholas, I don't know if this question was for me or that person that just asked the question, but I've never ran a call center before. Yeah. See, exactly what. So this person is in the car detailing niche. They are getting a bunch of leads and high quality ones, but the conversion rate is so bad. I struggle to generate actual revenue. So in that case, if like the leads are not high quality, if they're not converting, like so you have to work on your filtering system and just find what needs to be done for them to become high quality. But yeah, I know the cost per lead for those niches is dirt cheap. It's insane. It's normal to be anxious, bro, about working with clients. Like as I said, I don't know if you were here at the beginning. I'm anxious right now doing this live stream. Like I this is not. And look at my YouTube. I've been posting content for a long time. I run a business. I'm not supposed to be anxious, but I am anxious doing this right here. So it's normal, bro. Like it's just like don't let your feelings control what needs to be done. Like you'll get over it. Surge 2.0, yes, sir. Thoughts on AI infrastructure? Again, I do think there's a potential for it in the future, like this whole AI trend. I think it's good to hop on it earlier. I do see more people selling the idea of doing AI versus actually using AI, which is what's making me skeptical. But again, I am not the expert of AI, so I might just be talking out of my ass and not, saying random stuff when in reality it might work extremely well. All I know is I've been in a few demo calls for AI for myself and for my clients, and I've decided not to move forward with them. That's it. Like some people might find it realistic, some people not. I maybe because my point of view is from a marketer, just because I do run an online business, so I know everything in this space. So I can easily tell what's happening. And maybe if you just have an AI caller, like dial your everyday person that has no idea about the online space, maybe they won't be able to tell. Again, I don't know, but the one I saw was for real estate agents and for like landscaping companies, I think. And I wasn't too impressed by it. Yeah, bro. Dance schools, karate. I know I had one client a long time ago, maybe a year ago, that I worked with on a different offer that we had. He used to work with like martial arts studios, whatever you call it, gyms, and he was doing pretty good money. Again, he wasn't charging 3K per month, 5K per month, but he just had so many of them at like 1K, 750, 500 a month, and he just dominated, had everyone. And of course, you can make a bunch of money. And typically with these niches, it's very easy to get them results. Like you're not going to be reinventing the wheel every time you sign a new client. So when you sign your second dance client, it'll be the exact same way that the exact same thing you're doing for them to get them clients. You'll just replicate it for that new client. I don't mean the trust. No, I don't think it's trust. I think it's more so the like for me, I'm not convinced that it actually works very well. It's not that I don't trust it. It's just like I've tried the DM one, especially DMs, like the chatbots. That's what I really focus on because that's what I need the most. And it was very tricky. It did not work very well, and I personally just said to myself, I'm going to wait on this and just keep working on my things because it works. Cool. What time is it? 8:05. Okay. If there's not any other questions, I'm gonna end this stream. It's been over an hour. I don't have a specific like this could be 2 hours. I don't really care. But yeah, very good questions today. This is again, I'm very new to live streaming. I'm not used to doing this, so sorry if I'm not like the best with answering questions and managing everything at the same time. But hopefully, eventually, we get the hang of it. I'd love to have more of you boys on these live streams. Okay, so don't be afraid. There's a link in the chat. Maybe I should probably mention it more often. Click on it, and you will basically be able to speak with me one-on-one. And I'll be able to just guide you, hold your hand, and just give you a quick sort of one-on-one of what I would do in your situation with your agency, with your business. But yeah, otherwise, let's keep crushing. Let's keep making a bunch of money. If ever you guys have any questions for me, you can send me a DM on Instagram. I'll get back to you. Otherwise, if you want me to personally coach you, work with you one-on-one, and help you scale an agency, like I did with these two people that you guys saw on this live stream, these are students of mine. These are people I've worked with one-on-one. I've helped them with their agency. So if ever you want to get same transformation as them, get access to my media buyers, my case studies, everything that you need to start building an online business, there's a link in the description. Just book a call with my team. They'll explain to you everything. It's performance-based. So if you're not happy, we can just part ways. But yeah, otherwise, best of luck with everything. Let's crush it, and we'll see each other next week, okay? Peace, everyone.